Welcome back to Napoleon Total War 3. Last time around, we defeated another French army around in this region, and at this point we've forced them all to retreat beyond the river, so now they're all on the other side. In retaliation, they've burnt my college, and they seem to be stacking up for another attack from over here. One of the retreating forces ended up on the mountain, which I'm not entirely sure how we managed to, but the French got a great vantage point from up there, and from there I guess they're going to scout out and plan their new attack, which most likely is going to be the same as last time. They're going to try to go through here. The plan is to go to Milan by bypassing my forces, getting surrounded and destroyed just like last time. With that said, this force has been... we've added 2 more 12-pounder cannons, so we've got quite a lot of them, and 2 German grenadiers and an Austrian lancer unit. The rest of the armies have moved to the north and are preparing to strike against the enemy. And as you can see, the replenishment rate has been increased because we have now built a stone road. 99 turns, costing 10,000. I imagine that they don't want anyone to build the metal roads. You could have just, I mean, if they didn't want that, they could have just called it something else. Because at the distance you could kind of see that it was maybe a different kind of stone or something. So, I mean, but 99 turns and 10,000, yeah, no one's going to... What, 99 turns? How many turns are there in a year? What year would you be able to finish that if... Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what we can do this turn around. So, just as I kind of predicted, the Italians in the Piedmont-Liguria region went ahead and rebelled against the French, and this army came out of hiding from over here and struck them down quite easily. However, this has forced them out into the open, and so it's a perfect time to go ahead and attack them and try to swing the momentum back in our favor and start pushing troops down and hopefully all get to Marseille, Provence. And also at some point here, hopefully we'll be able to sign some kind of peace treaty with the Spanish, so we don't have to fight them, because as we go forwards here, I don't expect a lot of French troops coming from this region, so it's mostly going to be Spanish troops coming here. So if I sign peace, we will sort of not be concerned by moving this way as much, and we can focus on our way up through here towards Paris. And obviously we also have to strike at Strasbourg, but I imagine that if I get these 2 nations to join in the war again, they'll be able to actually take this out, or at least I only need a small force to lead the charge and have the allied armies close by. So for this video we have one army that is actually ready to move, and that is this army. I think I added on some troops, maybe not, but it's the army with the creation units, quite a bit of artillery. Most of it is 3-pounders. All of it is 3-pounders except the 1 howitzer, to be exact. I don't expect the French though to have much more. They have actually an 8-pounder. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and strike this one and hopefully take this region and force the French further away from us. We do have quite a lot of French reinforcement troops moving into this region, but having destroyed Napoleon and another full stack, we are certainly on our way of turning the tide of war. With that said, we're gonna have to have another bridge battle, this time against Jean-André Junot. I could possibly bypass him, go for the town instead, and with that, he would turn up in my back though. So I guess we'll have to fight the bastard. Hopefully he actually intercepts me. No, he's not going to intercept me. It would be nicer if he intercepted me, because then I wouldn't actually have to fight him on the bridge. So the Spanish troops will actually reinforce him. He's got some good troops. That is the Dragoon, the Impress, so the Empress Dragoons. We've got some Hussars, Dragoons, quite veteran artillery crews. We got Grenadiers, lots of light infantry. We got 3 units of light infantry. We also got Spanish light infantry coming in. Some voltigeurs and so forth. So it's going to be quite hard, but I do have a lot more artillery than they do. So I'm hoping that I will be able to force my way across the bridge. With that said, let's go ahead and fight this battle, shall we? And I must say, this is a really cool battlefield. I don't think I've ever played on a battlefield like this, where you've got the town so close to the river crossing. And it really makes the otherwise pretty bland river crossings pretty darn cool. With that said, we can see that the enemy has... Oh yeah, I've... where's all my unit stuff? I'll have to add that. Looks like they've just amassed basically everyone right there. So clearly I'm not going to be able to cross the bridge. With that said, we'll place a few artillery, mostly just to wake the enemy up. And then I'll have to march my army over here. So we'll place... Maybe I'll place the horse artillery here. Because if I place the 3-pounders and the fight switches and takes place over here, then it's going to be very hard to move those cannons all the way around. If I place the horse artillery, I'll be able to quite quickly switch these guys back once they're done firing on the enemy on this position. And they should... Oh, they don't actually reach. Wait, are the enemy artillery limbered? I'm not entirely sure if I want to move... No, they're not. So we do have time to move up. There is forest here, so hopefully we won't lose our artillery. The other part of my artillery will cross the river with most of the army. But we'll have to leave... I think we'll leave something. Might just do with leaving the cavalry. We'll leave the big cavalry unit on this side, and we'll have the small one ride first over. And that is the battle plan, so let's go ahead and start it, shall we? First things first, move up the artillery, and actually move up the hussars as well, because now we no longer actually see the enemy unit across the field. We've got an artillery piece over there, so we'll see what happens with that. We're gonna go ahead and move the entire army, move the general over to the side. Right, the enemy has been spotted, but I don't want my artillery that close to each other. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. Gonna set up the other piece over here. Looks like the enemy is actually trying to cross, which I hope they are not able to. We do have the artillery to support, so hopefully will just be a case of, since they're moving over at a very slow rate, I will hopefully be able to kill them off before they get over. Canister cannot reach over to the other side. However, what I can... No, let's just fire round shot towards this region. We have killed quite a few of the enemy horsemen. I think I actually might need the general over here, because we've already lost about 10 people out of my hussar unit. The enemy has lost a lot as well. They're sending a surprisingly amount of troops this way. I wasn't expecting them. I was thinking maybe they'd send 1 unit, something like that. They're sending quite a lot of infantry and basically all of their cavalry trying to get across. Which is a bit silly since most of my army is passing over on that side. But I guess the rest of the army has noticed that and is moving quite a lot of troops over to that side. I mean, I'm wondering if it's worth actually holding this. You know what? It's not. We're gonna limber up the cannons. Hopefully these guys hold long enough for me to get my cannons out of there, and then we're gonna switch and just move everything over the over this area. So my smaller hussar unit has managed to destroy the enemy artillery
the men
on this side, and we should be able to safely pass across. General has to move himself over here. And oh, there goes the cavalry, is just as my artillery is kind of ready to move away. The cavalry unit gets killed off by the enemy cavalry. Why can I not move you yet? What are we waiting for? What are you guys waiting for? Are you bugged? God damn it. But this just gives me time to move more of my troops. What if I tell you to fall back? Will you hurry up then? No, you will not. God damn it. They're sending 2 infantry units over to deal with us on the side. Voltigeur and the Lightfoot. Also a normal line infantry. The thing is, I can't limber it back up, so unfortunately, because of a bloody bug, we just lost that cannon. Oh, the Spanish are coming. Right. Since this is my last cavalry unit, I don't want to lose that immediately, so we're gonna tell that one to fall back. Oh, now my artillery piece can move.
Our men are running.
Oh, just in time for them to be surrounded by enemy cavalry and killed off. Right. Wonderful. Right, we need to send someone to stop that National Guard unit moving over here. So I'm gonna send my Lightfoot, both of them, over to that side to deal with them, and then the rest will just continue to march forward here, and we'll try to set up bridgehead. Given the enemy is most likely going to come down through here, we'll move all the cannons over to this side. I'm wondering if we'll actually have to make sure that we'll stop the enemy from crossing the river, so they don't attack us from the rear. I think it's time for these guys to form into line, and it might be well to form a few of these into line as well, so we don't get completely surprised by the enemy cavalry as we now cross the river. The horse-drawn artillery is hurrying as best they can, and I'm gonna put a grenadier unit as a rear guard. They seem to be going for my hussars. No, they're not actually going for my hussars. Then going straight for just everything moving across here. I'm forming my men into square. And yeah, there's no way they're gonna be able to break through this square. Probably a few team kills throughout all of this, since I'm basically forming everyone into square. But maybe I can get everyone kinda to split up a bit more. And we've got enemies coming on from there. The horse-drawn artillery needs to come across rather quickly. We've got 2 6-pounders. Draw them over here. The howitzer. That could actually be already set up. We could set that one up there to start bombarding the enemy. And just get these guys in line to prepare to shoot down this next Spanish cavalry unit. Force them to retreat. The light infantry has opened fire. The charge here is being led by the 18th Hussars. Once I get my artillery set up, we should have a pretty easy time dealing with this. We're gonna have one there and the other one on that side. This is the Spanish line infantry. We're gonna have these 3 units.
The men are fatigued,
move
sir,
into the forest. We're gonna have these 3 move like so, and these 2 smaller ones reserve in the back. This one can go over here. Right, the howitzers are ready. Set them up. What the hell are they doing? The National Guard militia, supported by the cavalry, is moving straight onto us. But I believe once my artillery sets up, which should be pretty darn soon, we should be able to just blast the enemy. My cannons are really slow at crossing the river. And the enemy, the Emperor's Dragoons, are really hot on the trail here, coming really close. And I definitely don't want to lose this unit. And now they're caught in the crossfire. So I'm hoping we don't shoot our own unit down. At the same time, the enemy is really just pushing us really hard here. I am forcing their units back though. Right, we're not going to get a better spot. Deploy and start spraying them with canister.
Our men are running, sir.
Who is running? No! They caught onto the artillery and they're cutting it down. So I lost both units of my horse-drawn artillery, or my light artillery unit, maybe. We'll retreat these 2 just so we get in between the cannons. Give a free field of view for the cannons to spray the enemy with canister. This cannon doesn't really want to fire, it seems. So we're going to tell them to hold fire and then fire again. And then maybe you should be able to actually fire. No? Then I'll give you a target. Are you gonna fire? No, you're not gonna fire either. So then I'm gonna give you a target. And then you'll might actually be able to do something. Right. Why are you not firing at this Spanish unit over here? We're gonna have you support. Ooh, support the artillery units. We're gonna have the general close by. The French are doing a charge with their 2 grenadier units, but they're just charging into a massive amount of cannon fire and so forth. So that didn't really go too well for them. How's it going over here against the Spanish units? Let's see what the Spanish guys looks like. I'm not entirely sure if they have this a mistake. It kind of looks a little bit like it. Or at least this thing up in the corner. We've got another Spanish unit over here, but it should be the exact same unit. Let's move. You know what? Let's move you like that. We don't need all 3 to go against the Spanish. The light infantry creations are holding. But now we're getting fired at from the volunteers across the river. The grenadiers will withdraw, and hopefully we can drag the enemy to come at us, or sort of get into the water, and then we can shoot them down. Seems to be going well here. Not entirely sure. I mean, their flank is exposed, so I could kind of form into column here, charge the Spanish, and in that way get him away. Because they're not really putting down very effective fire. We're gonna send the general over there to aid, and then we're gonna have the hussars come in and chase them down as we push them away. Okay, the light troops are in the water. We're gonna advance and fire at them as they're in the water there. They're relocating, and as they do that, we charge. And just at the same time, these guys open fire, so they support the attack on the Spanish. We got our hussars hopefully coming in close, maybe to chase these guys down. We don't have to fight. Oh, you know what?
Our men are running for
God damn it! Just in time when I noticed that we shot down our own artillery crew. It's not very nice. Is this one, since I tell it to shoot a specific location, I imagine that it didn't actually shoot at the unit. Right, the Spanish have not yet been defeated, but they just became defeated. Send the hussars up to deal with them. These two in column. Try to, or time to, I should say, to move in and surround this one. We might get outflanked over here. It's gonna be a hell of a fight just trying to protect our rear as loads of French troops are moving up from the back. Hopefully my cannon crew will rally. They actually have rallied already. We can send them back up. We're probably gonna need them. Right, let's have the hussars sweep in on these guys. Make sure that we get rid of them. And then get rid of this unit. Focus in on the French coming down this way. And then... not sure what my plan will be for all of these. But if they all... since they all have to bunch up more or less here, I can have the howitzer blast them pretty effectively. Bloody grenadiers coming at us again. These Spanish troops can't hold for long, I imagine. And I don't think these guys are coming back. They have lost so many men. They're completely broken at this point. We're gonna move this unit along the road. I think if these guys just see the hussars coming up behind them, might be enough to have them retreat. The area is still holding just fine, and the river crossing is being held as well. You know what? Time for the howitzers to focus in on this area. If the French think that they will force their way across, I mean, they're sending a lot of troops, but they're sending it up against my grenadiers, and my grenadiers are the winded. But these guys will be very tired once they actually get across. And come on then, turn those bloody guns, I tell you. Oh, what's this? Enemy general staff charge my cannons. Weirdos. I'm gonna need... Yes, nice, finally. Turn those bloody howitzers around. What? He's actually managed to deal with my cannons. Form square, and then the cannon crew will move into the square. Come on, I need those howitzer shots. It can be that the enemy is too close, so that they can't actually fire at them. Right, the Spanish are gone.
General, sir. Now they must break.
We'll send these 3 in column to protect here, so they don't break through. And then these will move to town. Hussars. Chase down these guys. So it's not many French coming down here, so it's all about the French coming down here. And it's all about my grenadiers holding there. I can switch to canister, possibly firing down here. And let's see, the cannon crew should hopefully be able to just turn these cannons completely around to fire at the enemy. The general needs to close in to support his men. The grenadiers are holding. And as long as the enemy just keeps moving on here, should be able to break them pretty easily. And the enemy cavalry breaks itself. The light foot is about to break itself as well, which means that I can focus in on this side. I want these cannons to completely turn around and fire this way. The enemy is launching the melee attack. The general will rally and we will countercharge straight through it. And we will actually hold fire with the cannons at this point. I don't want to blow my own men to hell. And even though the enemy clearly outnumbers us, they're too tired and they know the game's up.
Our men are running.
Oh no, the grenadier broke. What if I get my general in here? Help the Alvincis fight the Frenchies. That was just what was needed. And just in time for these 2 reinforcements to turn up. Turn your cannons around and fire canister that way. Let's move these 2 infantry units like that. And have these 3 move into town. And then have these guys get back on the cannons. Canister straight forwards. Form square before the dragoons get you. Come on! Fire! Didn't I tell these guys to form square? I guess they didn't have time to. So the only unit remaining is a bloody artillery piece all the way over there. Hussars, as quick as you can, get over there. So the general and the Alvincis will continue to chase these guys down and get rid of them. We might actually shoot our own if we continue firing like that. Oh, they did rally. They did rally an infantry unit over there. Can have this one go around, and you 2 continue towards the artillery, which are all the way over there. Maybe I should tell them to fire round shot instead. Okay, they don't want to fire. Now they want to fire. Maybe just the sound of the cannons is enough to... these guys don't want to fire. How about round shot?
A glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Should be enough to completely send the enemy away. I told the Hussars... Oh, I didn't tell them to run, did I? Right, everyone over there. The battle is over. You know what? I think we'll just end it here, because it's gonna take a while for me just to chase these guys down. And then we'll... So I guess I'll see you guys when we're taking a look at the statistics of this battle. And as we can see here, it's about... we were matched man to man. It's only a difference of about, what, 14 people or something like that. We lost about 1,000 men, well not really, 858, while the enemy suffered more or less everyone as a casualty. Remaining 461 soldiers. Highest killers, not surprisingly, is the Hungarian Grenadiers that held the river crossing. After them comes the Hussars. No surprise there either, they usually chase them down. And then we have the Croatians under Joseph. And after that we've got the Elvincis that held the river and then chased across the river to make sure that the enemy did not turn up again. Then we have more Croatians. Then we actually have the Duke himself, the Archduke Charles, being able to inflict 186 casualties. And then we have the number 20, Graf Kunitz, manage to get 115. And the worst one, I mean, it's the cannons that end up in the bottom. Not really being able to kill anyone, but they seem... I mean, the main point of the cannons in this mod seems more to be scaring the enemy than actually killing them. But I guess most of the kills actually inflicted in this mod is when you're able to chase down retreating troops, and not actually during firefights. But there we have it. It's a victory. And we forced the French to fall back, and the Spanish troop that aided them. And now we will strike here. And I mean, when I was asked to surrender, I accepted. So I hope that Napoleon Gonadot does the same. And yes, and we're gonna occupy the region. Because if I created my own a vassal state, then the enemy wouldn't be able to pass. I don't have any money to repair the location, but compared to what happened when the French took over, the people actually love me when I come in. Question is if we will be able to hold it as it is right now. We've got no French force within... These two actually are within striking range. I have no reinforcements either than the reserves to send forwards. I bet though that we will be able to hold this. I don't think the enemy would attack in the end turn, and then I could bring up reinforcements. Also we could possibly... I don't think this army is strong enough to actually take these guys on. So we'll have to... Hopefully this one turns this way so I can gang up on them with my stronger armies. With that said, however, I think it's high time we go ahead and end this episode. And so, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!